Tonight's story comes from ancient Greece, where love was believed to persist even beyond death, but never without cost. This is the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. It is a tale of devotion carried into darkness, of one forbidden glance, and of how love can be lost even when it is nearly reclaimed. Orpheus was born with music in his hands. Some said it was the gift of a god, others that the world itself had leaned close when he first breathed, pressing melody into his bones. When he played, rivers slowed, stones listened, even the wind altered its course, as though sound itself had learned to feel. But it was not music that defined him, it was love. Eurydice entered his life not as thunder, but as certainty. She moved through the world lightly, as though she trusted it to hold her. When she laughed, Orpheus forgot to play. When she spoke, he found himself listening in ways he never had before. They did not love loudly. They loved entirely. The day Eurydice died, the world did not pause. She was walking among the fields when it happened, a sudden sting, a breath cut short, the earth rising too fast to meet her, and then she was gone. Orpheus did not weep at first. He stood where she had fallen, lyre slack in his hands, as though the sound had drained from the world with her final breath. When he did play again, the music was different. It was not beautiful. It was true. The notes carried grief so raw that even the trees bent beneath it. The animals gathered, restless and silent. The air thickened, heavy with listening. And when the living world could no longer hold his sorrow, Orpheus turned toward the place where the dead reside. He descended. No living soul had ever walked that path and returned unchanged, but Orpheus did not go as a hero, nor as a challenger. He went as a lover who refused to let silence have the final word. The underworld received him without ceremony. Its halls were dim and endless, echoing with footsteps long forgotten. Shades passed him without recognition, their faces smoothed by loss and time. Yet, when Orpheus played, even they slowed. His music reached the guardian first, then the judges, then the throne itself. Hades listened. Persephone listened. The sound was not a plea. It was a memory made audible. Orpheus played of sunlight on skin, of laughter shared at dusk, of a love that did not seek to conquer death, only to remember the living. When the final note faded, the underworld was quiet. Hades spoke at last. "You may take her," he said, "but not as you wish." Eurydice would follow Orpheus back to the surface. He would lead, she would walk behind him. There was only one condition. He must not look back. Not until both had crossed fully into the light. No glances, no reassurances, no proof, only trust. Orpheus agreed. The ascent began in silence. The path upward was long and narrow, carved through shadow. Orpheus walked ahead, his steps measured, his hands clenched around the lyre he did not dare to play. Behind him, he heard nothing. No footsteps, no breath, no sound to confirm she was there. Doubt crept in quietly. What if the gods had deceived him? What if the silence meant emptiness? What if he was walking alone, clinging to a hope already lost. Each step became heavier than the last. The light ahead grew brighter, the air warmed, the scent of earth and leaves returned. Just a little farther. Just one glance. At the threshold between worlds, Orpheus faltered. He turned. For a moment, only a moment, he saw her. Eurydice stood half in shadow, half in light, reaching for him. Her expression was not angry. It was not afraid. It was understanding. Then she was pulled backward, unraveling into the dark, her form dissolving like mist at dawn. She did not scream. She simply vanished. Orpheus fell to his knees. This time, the music did not come. The world received him again, but it felt thinner, quieter, as though something essential had been removed. He lived on, playing songs no one had heard before, songs of love that had crossed death and returned broken, songs that carried both devotion and regret. They say that even now, if you listen carefully, his music still drifts through the spaces between things, a reminder that love may descend into darkness, but it cannot always bring back what was lost, and that sometimes the hardest part of love is trusting what we cannot see.